I call the May 1st, 2024 meeting of the Architecture Review Committee to order. And currently in chambers, we have Committee Member Turgan, Committee Member Schmidt, Committee Member Palmer, and Committee Member Ostavar. And I'm Committee Member Past Chair Edward Hunter. And also in the chamber, we have Principal Planner Fernando Rivieri, Levi Hill, Matthew Buggart, and Spencer Argenbright, right? Okay. All right. So Spencer, if you would please let people online know how they can participate if they're doing so remotely.
Information on participating in this meeting and providing public comment, including remotely by Zoom or by telephone, is on this meeting's agenda, which is online at isearchmonterey.org. Remote commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak, and a timer will be shown on the screen. If you are connected on Zoom, the timer is accurate with no delay. In the chamber, we recommend keeping phones and devices muted to prevent audio interference with the meeting. Thank you for participating in your city government.
All right, thank you, Spencer. Okay, first up is the, also need to announce that absent from the committee are Chair Tregenza and Vice Chair Pauly. So I'll open the consent agenda. And are there any members of the public that would like to speak or discuss an item on the consent agenda? Any hands raised?
There are no hands raised online.
All right. Any members of the committee, any comments on the consent agenda? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move to approve.
Second.
All right, the motion has been made by Committee Member Palmer to approve the consent agenda and seconded by Committee Member Schmidt. All in favor? Say
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, we will open up for public comments for any items that are not on today's public appearance agenda. So anyone in chamber, anyone online, Spencer?
There are no attendees with their hands raised.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you. Then we'll close the public comments section and move on to the public appearance items. First on this is the to consider 799 Grace Street architectural review permit ARP-23-0085 for preliminary and final architectural review. Matthew, do you have a presentation for us, please?
I do indeed. I will share my screen. Good afternoon. My name is Matthew Buggart, and I'm an associate planner with the City of Monterey's Planning Division. And today we're here to talk about 799 Grace Street for a two-story addition and their related architectural review permit. Brief background on the project. It was previously presented to the ARC about a month and a half ago on March 20th. There was public comment from the neighbor regarding the height of the roof line and potentially obstructed views of the ocean. The applicant during that hearing offered to lower the roof height, and plans were resubmitted with the lowered roof height. And since then, staff has gone to the site, to the neighbor's backyard, to reassess those view impacts with the lowered story poles. The location of the project is in the New Monterey area. It has R1 zoning and a residential land use. There's an existing two-story structure on the site, and the neighbor with public comment was the adjacent neighbor here at 781. The addition would go on the back portion of the site over here onto a sloped area. This is as the plans were previously proposed, and the roof line that would be lowered is on the right, and there was a slight reduction in the size of the chimney as well, which you can see looking at the next slide. Going back and forth a little bit to really point out the reduction. The total height reduction was 1 feet 7 inches and 7.5 inches. These are the revised story poles with the adjacent neighbor in the back. These are some additional renderings of what the project would look like. It would come up on the hill here and be level with the ground on the uphill side. Here is as the structure is today versus on the right. And each of these have been updated to reflect the lowered roof line. Before, this roof line over here was higher than the peak. Now it's lower. And same with this. It used to be covering the existing roof over here, and now it's lower. The resulting materials and colors would have a blue exterior and have a red door, similar to what was previously on the site, and there would be natural wood detailing for the deck and garage. Some findings required by ARC is that the siding form, mass, and style are appropriate for the site, of which all were compliant with the R1 development standards. ARC must find that the project would not unreasonably impair views, privacy, or the environment. There was one public comment previously received with a concern there, and since then we received 2 more public comments, both in support of the project. One from that neighbor themselves, and also one from a neighbor across the street in support of the revised design. An actual picture from the site on the left here, the arrow is where the photos were taken from. And it's really hard to see any real obstruction of the trees or ocean views from their backyard. And another one, so it'd be lower here versus I think before it was closer to up here. An additional finding is that the project must be found consistent with the guiding documents. And again, they were all compliant with the general plan going through ARC for a 2nd-story addition. And finally, the finished colors and materials must be found to be appropriate for the site. And the wood paneling, stonework, and concrete fixtures were all found appropriate. There's a special condition on the project to ensure the maximum height of the roof line at 19 feet and 2.5 inches. And with that, staff's recommendation is that the ARC approve the architectural review permit with conditions of approval. That concludes my presentation. I believe the applicant is also on the line.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Begin with the committee members. Have any questions for Matthew? Okay, if the applicant is online and would care to address any concerns or any comments?
Chad Brown, I will unmute you and allow you to talk, and you can unmute yourself now.
Good afternoon. I'm Chad Brown with Monterey Design Build. So I say thank you for your time today, and I hope we can move forward with an approval since we made the adjustments.
All right, thank you. Any other public comments?
There are no other attendees with their hands raised.
All right, then I'll close public comment on this. And
Oh,
open-
pardon me. There is one attendee with their hands raised, actually.
Okay.
Howard, I will allow you to talk, and you can unmute yourself.
This is Howard Reed, the neighbor. We just want to thank Chad and the applicant family for their support, and we're really happy with the outcome. Thank you to the committee and to Chad.
All right, thank you. All right, Friday, any other comments, public comments?
There are no more attendees with their hands raised.
Okay, I'll close public comments on this item and open up for comments from the committee. I'd just like to say to begin with, thank you very much to the owner, the applicant, and the neighbors for working through this and coming to an amicable solution that addresses everyone's concerns and come to a compromise or a solution that works well for everyone. So well done on that to everyone involved.
I have the same comments. It's always nice when neighbors are able to work out and come up with a project that meets all of their expectations, and it makes it more pleasant, especially because you're going to be neighbors. So I appreciate the cooperation between the two.
Any other comments? Close committee comments and entertain a motion on the item.
I move to approve architectural review permit ARP 230085.
And I'll second it.
Okay, the committee member Schmidt has entered the motion to approve architecture review permit ARP -23-0085 on 799 Grace Street, and is seconded by committee member Palmer. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, motion carries. This has been approved, and this decision can be appealed within 10 calendar days. And I believe that's the end of our items on the public appearance. So I'll open that up to any comments or from the staff or from the committee at this time.
I don't have much to say other than what's printed in your agenda packet, but we might be adding another item to the May 15th ARC meeting. Last time, you all approved landscaping, lighting, and signage at 2600 Sand Dunes Drive, the Monterey Tides Hotel. And they did want to remove 3 trees that was included in their landscape plan, but they submitted a tree removal application and that will need to be reviewed by you all. And I'm planning on agendizing it for the May 15th ARC meeting.
Any other items, any other comments? All right, well, at 4:14, I'll adjourn the meeting of the Architecture Review Committee. Thank you.